YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna cut to the chase. This video is about how to have chemistry with anybody. Anybody on this planet we call Earth, you can have chemistry. Well, as long as you speak the same language. Honestly, you don't even need to speak the same language sometimes. But this specific tutorial is for if you do speak the same language. But yeah, how to have chemistry with anybody. It's actually very simple, and I'm gonna give you 5 tools for how you can have chemistry with anybody you want to. Spark a connection, make some friends, why don't we? Especially going into 2025, these are the social skills you need to be able to just elevate your social game a little bit. Why not? I've been told that I'm a great conversationalist and I just love talking with people. So this is how I'm certified to tell you how to talk to people, okay, period. So first, I'm gonna tell you why connections are so important, because you're probably like, why do I need to have chemistry with anybody? Because you never know the type of people that you're going to encounter in a work situation, in a social event that you might go to. And it just makes life easier when you have people to connect with and bond with, especially, for example, at work. I used to go to work every day and just clickety-clack on my computer, but our culture has recently changed so much so that we're all just like buddy-buddy, and we all just like talk and giggle, we tell each other about our days, personal life, and it just makes work so much more enjoyable. And I only go into the office twice a week, and those used to be the hardest 2 days out the week when I used to just sit there and click-clack. But now those are 2 of my favorite days because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go see my coworkers. I'm gonna get a recap from last week. Like I get to hear about their weekend plans. I get to do this and do that. So it just makes life so much more fun. And it also helps us learn and grow and succeed, because we need to be able to make connections with people who might be at a level higher than us that we want to connect with and bond with. So we need to be able to talk to those people so they can get us in the right rooms, if you know what I'm saying, okay, period. So step 1, I actually wrote in my notes, be yourself, but then I crossed it out and then I said, be pleasant. Because how do I say this nicely? If being yourself means being rude to people and ignoring people and not going out of your way to strike up a conversation with somebody, that doesn't really help in terms of trying to make connections with people. So that's why I said be pleasant. I didn't used to be the best at striking up conversations with people, but then I did this. I watched YouTube videos and I was like, how do you have a conversation with somebody without like exploding? Like I literally needed help. So I went to my resources, YouTube University, and I literally learned how to be a better conversationalist. And here I am now. But yeah, just be pleasant. Go out of your way. Sometimes someone might come into the office and you're like, oof, you don't want to say nothing to them, but maybe give a hello. And then maybe you can upgrade to how are you? How was your weekend? You know, things like that. Just be pleasant to be around. Give a smile every now and then. You know, just in terms of be pleasant, I just think of being kind. Imagine that person in the office that might be a little annoying at times, but you're not gonna lie, they bring up the morale, they bring up the energy, they make life a little more fun in the office. You know, they brighten it up. Don't make it so boring. Just try to be, you don't have to go 0 to 100, but just try to be somebody that makes other people smile. You know, I think that's the best way to think of being pleasant. So number 2, how to have a really good conversation with somebody is to be genuinely interested in others. So for example, if somebody's telling you about their trip that they went on, like, oh yeah, I just went to Tokyo, I did this and I did that, it was so much fun. And you're just like, oh, that's cool. And then you start talking about how you went to Miami and you did this and that. I mean, that's cool. That's a way to flow a conversation. But to go a little bit deeper is like, dang, you went to Tokyo? Like, do you speak Japanese? Like, what was your favorite restaurant you went there? Like, ooh, tell me one memory that you'll just never forget, like during your time in Tokyo. Like, those are the type of questions, because I don't know, that's cool. Like if somebody told me that they went to Tokyo, I'd be like, oh, no, clear your schedule because we got to talk about this right now. Like just being genuinely interested in other people makes the person feel like, dang, like, oh my gosh, like you like me? Like, I don't know. Because when people are interested in me like that, I'm really like, wow, like that's so nice. Like, and it just makes the conversation flow. Like, for example, not me talking about my trips since we're talking about trips. I went to Colombia in the summer, and you know, it's one thing if I'm like, oh yeah, I went to Colombia, I did this and that. But if somebody's like, oh, what'd you do? Like, what was your favorite part? I'm like, like like you because I'm like, yeah, you're interested and I want to talk about it. Like, people love talking about themselves. Let's be honest. I love talking about myself. So when you give somebody an opportunity to talk about their passions, things that interest them, whatever they're doing in life at the moment, it's gonna make them really want to talk to you more because they're like, every time I talk to this person, I get to talk about myself. This is great. But no, honestly, being genuinely interested in others just makes the conversation flow so much more because there's always a deeper threshold you can get. You know, someone tells me about their favorite food. Oh my gosh, like, what's your favorite restaurant that serves food like that? Like, you can always just go deeper. Like, the conversations never really have to end. You can always go deeper. So that's a way. Just being genuinely interested in asking as many questions as you can. It's an interview, okay? And on this point, so like 2/3, be an active listener. So if someone's telling you things about themselves and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, that sounds so cool. Oh my gosh, you did that? You know what? Get off your phone right now. Like, that's honestly pet peeve of mine. If I'm talking to somebody and they're like texting and doing everything, anything else other than listening to my story, but then when they're talking, you better close your books. You better lock in. No, like, that's so annoying. Like, that's just so annoying. So when someone's talking, you better listen. You better listen and just soak in everything that they're telling you. They're telling you about their Tokyo trip. Be like, yes. I am a bit of an overactive listener. So I will literally, I'll give you the head nods. I'll give you the, I'll give you the, oh, I'll give you the, really? Like, I do a little too much. But that's just genuinely how I am because I'm just so like, yes, like, period. Like, I don't know. So be your version of an active listener. If you like a head nod, give a head nod. If you like to be vocal and be like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Like, just show the person. Because if you're doing too much and it's fake, it's going to read as fake. And the person's going to be like, what's going on? But if you're just being genuine, you're like, cool, nice. Like, the person will appreciate that and be like, wow, they're really listening to me right now. Okay. Number 4. So remember how a few points ago I said it's like an interview? You don't want to make it too much like an interview because then it gets a little weird. It's like, dang, are you trying to, do I need to lock my doors extra tight tonight? No. This is still a conversation. So, you know, they might tell you, yes, I went to Tokyo and, oh, my favorite food was ramen. Yes, it was great. I went to this one ramen spot, like blah, 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 blah. And if somebody was talking to me about ramen, that's when I would jump in and be like, oh, girl, I love ramen. Have you ever been to Katsu Ramen, which is a ramen place that I love in Aurora, Colorado? It is so good, y'all. If you live in Colorado and you're watching this, go to Katsu Ramen. Like, they should really be paying me. It's really good. Anyways, you have to add something back because if you're just like soaking in information, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little weird. But if you're like, oh yes, I love ramen. Is this still? Yes, okay. So if you're adding something back, like, yes, I love ramen. Have you ever been to Katsu Ramen? I love that place. Oh, you need to try their blah, 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 blah. That's how you take in a conversation of what someone says and then still adding it, making it flow. Because just straight question answer, we need to make the conversation flow. Yeah, we went to Times Square. We did this and that. We saw a show. I don't know if people do in Tokyo. I've never been. Probably don't see shows. So yeah, they might tell you, oh, we went to Times Square, we did this and that, and then that's when you add something. Oh, I've heard Tokyo Times Square is really similar to like New York Times Square in the fact that it's like lots of lights, lots of people, and then they go, yup, it really is. I don't know if it actually is, but yeah, they might be like, yeah, it's this and that, blah, blah, blah. And that's just, you know, I could have a whole conversation with myself. I'm having a great time right now. Anyways, now, last and not least, this might be the most important because they're all very important, but this is just something that it's like the cherry on top. It might not be the most important, but it's the cherry on top to show somebody like, wow, they were really actually paying attention and listening to me. Listen, open your ears wide. Remember something from the conversation, something. Whether it's the person's name, whether it's Tokyo, that they just went to Tokyo, whether it's their plans for the weekend. You just have to remember something so that the next time you talk to them, you can still have a little spark going, a little connection going. So for example, they told you, yep, I went to Tokyo, I did this and that. This weekend, we're actually going to Milan for Fashion Week. And I'm so excited to go to Milan, blah, 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 blah. So I'm gonna be like, wow, this person's a traveler. They went to Tokyo and Milan. Locking that in my brain, locking that in my memory ducts, okay? So that the next time you talk to them, next time you see them, you'll be like, oh my gosh, how was Milan? And they're like, oh my God, thank you for remembering. I'm like, yeah, Milan was great because da, 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 da. And then boom, you're in there. Now you're basically besties. Because one conversation is just, cute, casual, but two conversations and you remember that they went to Milan, like you guys are besties now. Now it's just gonna be, and that's the thing with these little tricks. Like it might be awkward at first when you're talking to someone for the first time. You don't really know like much about them. You don't know where to start, but that's also the beautiful thing. It's because you can start anywhere. What's your name? Where are you from? What's your favorite food? What was the last place you traveled to? What do you like to do for fun? What do you have planned for this weekend? Like you can literally start anywhere when you don't know somebody. That's like the funnest part for me because I'm like, wow, I have so many questions to ask you because I know nothing about you. You know what I mean? It's just changing your mindset from like, oh my gosh, I don't know this person. Like, what am I going to talk about? Just ask anything. And it might seem random, like, what was your favorite trip you ever went to? Yeah, that's a really random question. But boy, do I have an answer for you. Like, everyone's going to have an answer unless they don't go anywhere. Like, everyone's been somewhere, even if it's down the street. Like, that might have been the coolest experience for them. And they get to tell you about it. And you get to remember and then use it for the next conversation. That was a very long-winded way of saying, that's just the most important part. Because for me personally, if I'm talking to somebody and the next time I see them, they're like, oh, hey, Marilyn. Like, they remember my name. I'm like, oh, you remember my name? Like, it just makes me feel like so special. Or if they're like, if I tell them my weekend plans and they ask me about it the next time, I'm just like, wow, you really are an amazing person. Like, I think that is just so sweet and so kind when people do it to me. So I just try to do back to other people because that's what this life is about. We can't do it on our own. We need connection. We need people. And it just makes things lots more enjoyable. So yeah, if that was helpful, let me know. Because yeah, it's these are the things. These are the keys to life. Making connections is the key to life. So yeah, use these tips and let me know how it worked out for you.